Welcome back to Open Line. We're talking about climate change. A good discussion. I appreciate the calls. We'll go right back to the phones. Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. I think you've been waiting a while.
Oh, yes, here. I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. All right, go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, I was wondering something I've not seen brought up where the climate crisis is concerned is the effect that centuries of mass worldwide deforestation may have had on the climate change. We know trees and vegetation are essential for removing at least some of the greenhouse gases from our atmosphere. And while we try to protect what remaining forestry we have, little has been done to rebuild that we've lost.
Okay. Yeah, what about that? Should we go plant a lot of trees and you know, what about that?
Definitely. Living matter is a store of carbon. That's why cities all over the world have billion and million tree planting initiatives. It is important to know, though, that algae in our ocean and keeping our oceans healthy are an enormous store. The biggest difference between algae and trees is that algae grow and die, and then that carbon settles to the bottom of the ocean. It's assimilated into the geosphere of our planet, which is the safest store for carbon. Fossil fuel like oil and coal. Oil came from former sea life. Coal came from former forest life, mostly tropical forests. That stuff has been stored so deeply in the planet at such a dense rate that when we dig it up and burn it and turn it into a gas in the atmosphere, that has a much bigger impact than any number of trees that we can plant. So it's really more important that we do all the above.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a couple more calls, but the faith aspect of this. Lipscomb University professor. I guess what is the faith-based initiatives and faith aspect of what you all are doing here?
Well, Gary and I first discovered our shared interest in climate change, and then we discovered our shared interest in faith. And he came to us to ask us for advice about how to approach churches in Nashville. And through that conversation, Gary said, "By the way, did you know that I'm Jewish?" And I thought for a minute, well, did you know that my rabbi is Jewish? and so we had this immediate bond. And so Gary went to a church in Nashville. That church in Nashville said, "Why don't you go to Lipscomb?" And they have these great Christian scholars conferences. And so in planning a June conference for next year, this is an annual event that Lipscomb participates in or hosts, we're going to try to refine and clarify our theology around earth stewardship, around a livable world, and a world that includes equality and economic opportunity and prosperity for everybody. And we're going to tackle this issue of climate change. Dr. Catherine Hayhoe, one of the world's top foremost climate scientists, is going to be a keynote speaker. And hopefully that theological, scholarly-based conference is going to lead to a dialogue with lay leaders in Nashville. So we'll be having a conference in the fall that Gary and I will be working to lead, and we're going to be inviting churches from all over the community to send their leaders. We're hoping to have an expo of services and products that will make it easy for churches to buy into our stewardship role and our stewardship opportunities. And hopefully it will also help to expand our opportunities to honor our Creator and to spread what we all care about, and that's our eternal future as well.
The Pope has certainly talked about this issue, and your faith perspective in all of this.
Well, I just believe strongly we have a remarkable gift, and it's this Earth. There may be other planets like this somewhere, but we haven't been able to find them yet, and there probably are, but we have this incredible gift. How can we not preserve it? And so that's where I come from. How can we not do that? We all want to do that. We want our kids to have better lives than what we had.
So, and there's going to be a conference in June, is that right? Next year?
Yes.
Okay, so next summer. At Lipscomb. Well, let me take one more call here before we break. Dennis, can you go kind of quickly, Dennis?
Yeah, essentially what I want to say is what they're talking about right now. And yeah, I'll make it quick.
Go right ahead.
Okay, basically, I appreciate this attempt to make it clear to a lot of people that there's another way to attack the global warming crisis or whatever they want to call it next, because frankly, you know, I'm 66, you know, and I see a lot of crazy people out here in this world, and you know, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know, AOC is probably one of them, because she wanted to have everybody, you know, go green in 12 years, and we couldn't afford to do that. And at the same time, you've got North Korea and Iran trying to get nuclear. What about that kind of global warming? You know, when you see the flash, duck and cover, right? But I mean, the whole point is it's good to come at it from a faith-based thing and do some good in it. We are stewards, but at the same time, does anybody recognize the signs that we're living in, the closing of the age? That's all I got. I'll listen to y'all.
Okay. All right, that's quite a call. And I don't even know how to characterize that call. All right, we have to take a break, and let's think about how to respond to that. We'll take a break. I'll be back right after this.